Hello, my name is Drew Mulvey. I'm a certified dietitian nutritionist. I'm a board certified nutrition specialist. I am also a certified lead therapist, which is a specific food sensitivity protocol based off of mediator release testing. That is about 92% accurate and specific and has been absolutely incredible for my clients. It is very beneficial for any sort of inflammatory condition, IBS, and migraines and athletic performance. I am a precision nutrition level 1 coach, which is more holistic sports nutrition. It is amazing. I love applying the knowledge to my practice. I am a certified personal trainer, and I am also a candidate for the certification of integrative sports nutrition through the Center of Integrative Nutrition, integrative sports nutrition out of the UK. So come June, I will be certified. Woohoo! Very excited about that. Okay, and now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have Dennis introduce himself. And okay, good. You look good on Zoom. All right, Dennis, go ahead. He's going to introduce himself now.
You might have to Photoshop me, but that's okay. My name's Dennis Paul. I'm a subconscious mind trainer, and I really enjoy working with Drew on the Lady Warrior program, because one of the most crucial aspects of performance is right here between the ears. It's in the subconscious mind. And Drew firsthand has witnessed the changes that have taken place in her performance levels by tweaking everything that resides in her mindset. Now, if we try and do it on a conscious level, it becomes a bit difficult because that's short-term memory, nothing sticks. But when you start to reprogram your brain in the subconscious mind, wonderful things begin to happen. And we're going to share some of those things today, aren't we, Drew?
Yes, we are. And it's very interesting when we were talking about this and trying to put this together, we thought, oh my gosh, it's the Cinderella story. So really the theme of this talk is going to be taking ordinary things and making them extraordinary. So with that, we're going to be talking about the subconscious mind healing and mind training as well. We're going to be talking about environment. That's going to be a huge one. Environment can be the things that you're also putting into your body, the people that you have around you. I think the mind could be part of your environment too. If you don't have the right mindset, it's not the external environment, it's the internal environment. Because so we're going to be talking about that. And then, as I was saying before, we have something really exciting that both of us just incorporated into both of our programs, and that's stem cell activation. And it's so awesome. It's been helping with recovery. There has been so many testimonies with this, and both of us are using it too. So we have our own testimonies, and we'll be able to share that a little bit. And also I'll share a little bit about my journey, because everybody knew that I got hurt back in October because I decided to run a little too much. So with that in mind, Dennis, would you like to tell a little bit about Cinderella and how we came to this conclusion for the Cinderella story?
Thank you. It was really an interesting conversation that Drew and I had earlier in the week. And I couldn't help but have this image of Cinderella popping out in my head. You know, she was sitting there cleaning the fireplace and cleaning in the house and being abused by her sisters. Well, you know, that's life. All of us have some kind of trauma or abuse. And of course, in the subconscious mind, we remove that to optimize performance. But we were laughing back and forth about how Cinderella ended up being the only person that could wear the glass slipper. And we talked about the progression and how it really related to all of the things that we do together, both you and I, for all of our clients. And the reality is very simple. You know, in order to be able to achieve those things, you have to understand there's a duality between the brain and the physiology of the body. Right. And what a lot of people don't understand is that if your brain is not healthy, your mind cannot operate efficiently,
right?
Or the subconscious mind, and the unconscious level can't operate the body properly either, because it's in the unconscious mode that all of your organs, everything is controlled. And otherwise, that's why they say you're declared dead when there's no brainwave activity. Well, I saw a guy driving down the road that cut me off. I think he fell in that category. But the reality is that you have to understand, by marrying together, your brain, both mentally and physically, and then controlling the body through it mentally and physically, you end up getting those results that everyone's looking for.
Exactly. Yeah, and we were thinking also about the Cinderella story, that there were steps that had to be put into progress. So she met the fairy godmother, and then the fairy godmother had to make the dress. And then the mice were turned into horses, and the pumpkin was turned into I was going to say a cabbage, a carriage.
A coach.
It was turned into a cab. Well, cabbage is actually really good for you, and it's going to segue us into
So are
one of our
pumpkin
portions
seeds.
of this. But
So are pumpkin seeds.
pumpkin seeds are really good too. And the carriage was made, and that was something that was ordinary was extraordinary. And here she was in this environment where she probably didn't even see this. And that's also a mindset that we start to adopt, this mindset that we're never going to get better. And especially, I've heard people, all right, I'm going to say this. This is part of my journey. When I was younger, I'd laugh if you said that I was going to be an endurance athlete. I could barely run a mile. I ran my first full mile in 6th grade, and I was jumping for joy and saying hallelujah. I mean, it was amazing. And now here I am, because I started to understand that mind-body connection, and I've started to understand these concepts. And I have also worked with Dennis, that now I am aspiring to do a half Ironman this year, which is amazing. My endurance has just been absolutely amazing. So there's the ordinary turning extraordinary. You need to know what your worth is, and then you have people around you that are going to get you to the ball to meet your prince. And they also give you those tools that you need, and taking ordinary things to make extraordinary things to prepare you for your destiny or prepare you for your goal. So that's going to be the first thing.
We're that community that gives them the support and the tools to be able to turn into Cinderella.
Exactly. So then with that, Dennis is actually going to talk about your environment is going to be crucial to your performance and also to your goals. So Dennis, I'd like you to take the mic about that. How is it that environment could, I don't want to say manipulate, but really influence your mindset and also your performance?
Oh, it plays so huge. If you stop to think about one of the recent published studies on thoughts, we have 50 to 75,000 thoughts a day. And out of those 50 to 75,000 thoughts, 90% of them are negative. So what you're doing is you're bombarding yourself with mental toxins. Now, we can talk about physical toxins, but you have to remove all of that negativity out of your mind in order for it to flourish and operate properly. And of course, I mentioned earlier about going back and removing trauma, abuses, and earlier past life experiences that were negative. Those are toxic. Those greatly impact your body. But you, on a daily basis, you want to change your thought process so your preferences are positive statements, not negative. So I have a whole course just on changing your preferences of speech. But then also what's paramount, we talked about community and support.
Yes.
You want people that are positive reinforcements in thought, word, and in actions all the way. So by changing the people that you associate with, changing the messaging and communication with those people, that certainly we have family and friends that we don't want to throw to the curb, but you can influence them by changing your messaging. And once you start doing that, you're going to find that you're manifesting all of these wonderful things so that your levels of optimization continue to rise.
Right. Yeah, and that also plays back to understanding that you're worthy of having those people around you and understanding, oh wow, I really am capable of doing this. I just need the right tools. Cinderella needed a dress. Cinderella needed the slippers. Cinderella needed the mice that became the horse, and she needed the fairy godmother as well. So I know that I have different people in my life that have helped me to get to where I am now. Now, with that environment, you also talked about the internal environment. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, you said something about toxins, is that, yes, so interestingly enough, your mind, your thoughts can be the most pro-inflammatory thing out of everything. So there's 7 different stressors. That's the most pro-inflammatory one. So if you're not able to get your thoughts corrected, then that's going to add extra inflammation in your body. But that's where Dennis comes in, that there could be a blockage there where you're not able to clear something from that subconscious to get into the conscious to just get it cleared out. But
Yes,
how about that?
and you know what that is, Drew? That's self-sabotage because they don't believe they deserve it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And then that's where the eating comes in. That's where the not exercising comes in. That's, but the problem is that there's something in that subconscious, it's going to block you from being able to go forward and also getting out of those ruts when they do come, because they are going to come. Now, speaking of the environment in which you're taking in as well, there is nutrition. Obviously, I'm a board certified nutrition specialist, and it is important to be fueling your body with the proper things, let alone there's that balance as well that you need in your mind, that you have that balance with the foods that you like to eat, along with healthy foods. I shouldn't even say that. Food is food, it's fuel. But what you're putting in your body is going to affect your athletic performance. It's going to affect you mentally. It's going to affect you so much physically. In fact, if you are taking in processed foods, fried fatty foods, foods with a bunch of different ingredients, your liver has to work overtime and expend even more energy to clear these toxins out. So all that energy that you could be putting towards your performance, you're putting towards clearing those things out. You can fatigue earlier. Your recovery is not going to be as good. Toxins are going to build up in your body because eventually your liver gets overloaded and it just can't clear those things out properly. So things that you can start incorporating into your diet. I know a lot of fruits and veggies, some great things for recovery. Cherry juice, very high in antioxidants, are particularly a compound that has been very helpful for joint pain and very helpful for recovery in athletes. There's also coconut water, which supplies potassium. Now, you don't want to overdo it on the coconut water, because if you have too much potassium, then you're going to offset the balance of potassium and sodium, and you can cause hyponatremia, which can make you dizzy and more fatigued. So you need to have that balance of the two. But that can be another thing that you can incorporate in. As I said, fruits and veggies, whole grains, good proteins, good even if some really good dairy products, such as grass-fed yogurts, fermented foods. So when you're bringing these things into your body understand, it actually in their whole food form, minimally processed, your body sees that as, oh, I know this. And it actually increases the thermic effect of food. So the energy that your body puts towards digesting it, and you're technically burning a little bit more calories too. Plus, you're giving your body the antioxidants that you need, and you're helping out your liver too. So you have more energy to be able to function properly. So that's very interesting.
What I'd like to, one of the concepts that I share with a lot of my clients is, if you think of your liver as the same as your automobile, that happens to be the oil filter. It filters everything that runs through it. So in your body, the liver is your oil filter, filtering out the blood. And the blood can even carry small particulates of toxins all the way to the brain.
Right.
So one of the things I do and I was sharing this with you earlier, one of the things I do every 6 months is a liver and gallstone flush, because I just change the oil, I change the filter, and bam, the results are just amazing.
Right. Yeah. And then I also have my detox, which I just did in January too, where there's actually certain foods. So cruciferous vegetables are very good for helping the liver to detoxify things because there are two phases of liver detox, and it helps that phase two liver detox to get toxins out of your system more effectively. Because if they escape from phase one, those toxins are more toxic than when they came in because they're water soluble at that point and they can spread faster. So it's important that they're going to be picked up by phase two. That's why you need antioxidants to be able to shuttle them to phase two. And then you need, so cruciferous vegetables, they have those sulfur components. So that's a really great food that you can incorporate into your diet, as well as taking some things out that, as I was saying before, all those highly refined foods, sugars, fried fatty foods, things that just have no nutrient density. And the thing is that, oh, this is actually really, really, this relates. This is good. I just got this. Okay. So think there's the internal toxic environment and there's the external toxic environment. The internal toxic environment, if you are having all these processed foods void of nutrients, it's actually pulling nutrients out of your body
Yeah.
and you can get more depleted. So think about that in your external environment. When you are around toxic things, it's draining your energy. So by putting those two together, it's going to really optimize your performance and it's going to make you happier too, to be honest. So, but do you have to be 100%? Oh my gosh, absolutely not. You know, I work with women with eating disorders as well and disordered eating. You need to find that happy balance between the two because perfection is just, actually, would you like to talk a little bit about perfection and why it's not good to be
I
perfectionist?
certainly would. You know, I only know one person that was perfect and they crucified him on a cross. So the reality is nobody is going to achieve 100% perfection. And that too can go back to be self-sabotaging, deservability. But what you do want to do is you always want to strive to be your best. And it's not try, like Yoda says, it's do. So do your best. And when you have that kind of thought process in your life, you're happy even with little things. And you're less apt to be upset by trivial things that really don't amount to much. We carry too much garbage with us on a daily basis. So leave the trash bag out by the curb, you know? And and I would say that while we want to be a champion, you will have failures along the way. But if you take and use them as learning processes, there's some valuable lessons there that help you get past it the next time. And maybe you're in a larger competition, like you're going for the Ironman competition. Those learning processes are going to make you perform better when you get to those bigger competitions. You've already experienced it. You know how to deal with it. Now you've got the mental toughness and you can go for it.
Right. Exactly. And then if you have the proper nutrition plan, so I'm going to talk a little bit about nutrients that are really beneficial. So if you have enough B6 in your diet, so that's from bananas, sweet potatoes, pistachios are really good, nutritional yeast, pretty much all of your animal-based products and dairy products have B vitamins in them. That's very important for the production of serotonin, which helps your brain. It's important for the production of melatonin, which it's not only important for sleep, but it's important. It's a really potent antioxidant as well. Interesting enough, so females, B6 actually works at the dopamine receptor in your kidneys. So during that time in the luteal phase, when you are holding onto a little bit more water, having a little bit more B6 will help your kidneys to flush that water out because it's working on those dopamine receptors. So that was just a little tidbit, but B6 is fantastic for several different reasons. You got your omega-3s as well. That's going to help decrease any sort of inflammation. And that's also going to help with your brain health as well. anything that you can help with decreasing inflammation and cortisol levels, you want that working for you and not against you. So fish oil, any sort of omega-3s from flax seeds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds. So we were just talking about that, pumpkin
Cinderella.
seeds before. Some other really important ones are potassium, magnesium, electrolytes in general. So you need potassium and magnesium to help regulate your heart rhythm. And magnesium also helps, well, potassium does too. It helps you to prevent cramping. But as I was saying before, you don't want to overdo it on too many of those, or else you're going to drop the sodium. So sodium is actually very important. You need to have it balanced with potassium in order for your heart to function properly, and also to prevent fatigue. Very interesting. So if you have sodium and potassium pumps on your muscles, if they're not working properly, then you're going to fatigue a lot faster. So that's why electrolytes are going to be very important when you are doing longer bouts of exercise and when you're in hotter environments as well. So with that, you need, an antioxidant. But with the nutrients, there's actually something that can enhance these nutrients and enhance the benefits of these nutrients. And that is stem cell activation. So we're going to transition into that right now. Dennis, would you like to talk a little bit about this amazing technology that we've incorporated into our practice?
Every day, Drew, I become more and more impressed how the body operates. One of the natural things that we have for healing in our body are stem cells. Now, everybody thinks you have to go out and get a $25,000 or $50,000 shot in order to be able to benefit, but that's not necessary anymore. But the purpose of stem cells and reactivating them is, if you understand that by the time you're age 30, half of your stem cells have gone to sleep. And by the time you reach an older age of 60, which I hope to get to someday, why, now you're sleeping, all of them. So what happens is your body is not able to regenerate the organs, the skin, the hair, because it just doesn't have that capability. So what was a 10-year project by Dr. David Smith, who developed a lot of nutritional programs actually for the Navy SEALs to give them extra energy, keep them awake, help them to sleep, several decades ago. He took 10 years to develop this little item called the stem cell activation patch. Now, interestingly, you're not putting anything in your body. So you could put one of these patches on the base of your neck or just below your belly button where your lymphatic controls are. But what happens is, if you understand how you get vitamin D from the sun's not putting anything in your body. It is taking and through the skin, it's called photomodulation, is creating its own vitamin D. So that's basically the same concept for the stem cell reactivation patch. You're taking the crystal particles, the nanocrystal particles that are in here, and they start to stimulate the peptides. There's several different peptides in your body, and the peptides are what are the bugle call to your stem cells. All of a sudden, the stem cells wake up and they start to reset about 4,000 genes within a matter of days. So what happens is, when you have a nutritional program, it's like putting the turbocharger on that race car.
Yep.
It's amazing. The energy level increases. And I know you wouldn't believe it, but I probably work 12 hours to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. I got so much energy, I got to spend it. So with a stem cell patch, I also saw a reduction in inflammation. I had a total shoulder replacement about 5 years ago. And the amazing part is that, it's not a natural part of the body. So when I exercise, I get the first inflammation there. But also being a free of Crohn's disease and gut problems. Managing your gut inflammation is just incredible by having the stem cells go back and start to reduce the inflammation, but also it starts to rebuild the lining of the intestines. If you stop and think about it, even your skin is constantly replacing cells on a daily basis, but it can't do that if there's nothing there to stimulate that kind of growth. So the white paper studies have actually indicated age reversal of 8 to 10 years.
Mhm.
Can you imagine people being able to benefit from age reversal? But more importantly, when we talk about competition, the recovery that takes place when you're wearing these patches, and by the way, it's accepted by the World Doping Association and also the international. So because you're not putting anything in the body. But your recovery time is so much faster and you can feel it. When you're done working out, you don't have that aches and pain until you go home and start to eat and try to work it out. No, it begins to work very quickly. You might want to share yours.
My story? Oh, yes. Okay. So, I had hurt myself back in September. I was training for a half marathon and I almost got a stress fracture. I had a third degree bone bruise, which is what's one step under a stress fracture. And I started using this patch in December. Oh, I was in a boot. I was on crutches. I couldn't do anything with lower body. I was in so much pain. And so I started using these patches, and the first 2 days I was saying, oh, Dennis, I'm not seeing anything. And then the third day came around and I realized, oh, wow, there's a lot less pain when I'm walking. I'm able to walk faster. I was walking on an incline as well. And then it just progressed from there. And now this past week, I was somehow able to lift my personal best for a deadlift, which during this phase or during this time in the month, I really shouldn't be lifting heavier things or getting PRs, but I actually got a PR of a 230-pound deadlift, which I haven't seen that weight in about 6 years, which is amazing. And then I'm noticing, oh, okay, so I'm not crashing as much. Okay, so, oh my gosh, my hair is starting to grow a little bit faster now. And why is that? Because I have all these things that are in place. Yes, I am watching my nutrition. I'm taking the right supplements. I have the right people. I have the antioxidants. And by having this on my tibia, this is just enhancing those effects and enhancing the benefits from those things. So it's really, really an awesome technology.
And for less than a cup of Starbucks coffee on a daily basis. So you don't have to spend tens and $20,000 to get a shot. Your body will regenerate all of that. And there's a lot more into it, but if you want information, you can just go to startx39.com and then reach out to Drew because she has more information as to how that will help you in your athletic performance. We're only covering the tip of the iceberg at this point, but the scientific studies are there, the white papers are there. It's a phenomenal technology and it's very affordable for everybody.
Exactly. Cool. All right. So then I think we could just do a recap. So how do you enter into your Cinderella story? Because this can be you and that could be your athletic journey too. So we talked about the environment, your external environment and your internal environment. So one of the things Dennis and I talked about is who are the stepsisters that you need to remove out of your life? And who are the fairy godmothers that you need to incorporate into your life? And even the little mice too. I got excited about that. The little mice that you can incorporate into your life to get to your goal. One of those internal environments, changing that is also the subconscious mind training, because if there's any blockages in the subconscious, the conscious is not going to be able to maintain, especially when you are when you have challenges in front of you. So there's that portion. There's the environment. There is also the proper nutrition that you want to be putting into your body, because you're going to be expending way more energy trying to digest these things as well as trying to clear these things out. And you need that energy to be able to optimize your athletic performance. So might as well put the right things in your body. Now, I'm not saying don't be 100% perfect. You don't have to be 100% perfect. I'm not. Some of my favorite things are burgers and fries and ice cream. Do I have that every day? Absolutely not. But I have that because you have that balance in your mind. And then when you have that balance in your mind, we are not trying to say that you need to be perfect. When you have that balance, your body's picking up on it too. And then we come to the stem cell activation to enhance all the beneficial nutrients that your body needs for optimal performance. So that would be antioxidants, B6, omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, potassium, even sodium, proper sodium as well from sea salt, or even there's some electrolytes that I really like that I use. There's some antioxidants that I use from Juice Plus that I just personally really like. And then by having this wonderful stem cell patch that just enhances the effect of all of these. And I've seen it as well. Oh yeah, protein is really important. I've been using protein powder after I work out. And that's really important for repleting glycogen levels. So you don't, should I say it's crap out? So you don't crap out and you're able to build that healthy muscle as well. And then you have the carbohydrates and the antioxidants just to help everything to function properly and for you to recover properly. So imagine that. That's one thing that I saw with the patch. I'm getting stronger a lot quicker than I ever have in the past. You're supposed to improve 10% each week, and I've gone past that with my weights. So
235 pounds. That's impressive.
230. Yeah, 230. We'll get to 230. Well, I could have put up 240 easily. Amazing. But yeah. All right. So then Dennis, would you like to add anything extra to that?
Yes, I do. Be a Cinderella. Be a Cinderella. Wear your patch. But Drew, I thank you very much. I have to throw a little humor in there, but going back to the topic of perfection. We're not talking about perfection. We're talking about optimization. And what's amazing is how we've put everything together to give each individual that balance that they need so they can be optimized. That's really what it gets down to. And I'm so proud to be working with you. I'm so very grateful because of your expansive knowledge, and to be able to contribute what I do in the subconscious mind is even a bit deeper, but we can talk about those things on a mental toughness basis another time.
Definitely. Yeah. And actually, we have put together, with everything that we've talked about, we've put together a program. And this includes the subconscious mind training. It includes the physiological portion, so functional testing as well as nutrition, as well as this patch as well. And we have called it the Lady Warrior Athlete program. Well, the Lady Warrior program.
Yes,
and it is really to optimize your performance and optimize your life as well. So if that sounds like you and you've really been struggling and confused, and you might have a mind block of some sort and you really don't know where it's coming from, and you want to enter, as I said, you want your life to be a Cinderella story in your athletic performance, this program is going to get you there.
But there's a secret that we ultimately will let out. We have a program for the prince too. So it's not exclusive to just women. This works for men as equally well.
Yes. Yep. So the choice is yours. You want to see your best season, I highly recommend it.
Just reach out to Drew.
Cool. All right. So with that in mind, Dennis, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate all of your input, and you always provide just such amazing knowledge, and you're very much a connoisseur of knowledge with the mind, and you're doing great work. Really, again, I appreciate you coming on. And then for everybody on here, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm just going to reintroduce myself. I am Drew Mulvey. I am a certified dietitian nutritionist, a board certified nutrition specialist, a certified lead therapist, which is a specific food sensitivity protocol based off of mediator release testing. Very great for athletic performance. Precision nutrition level 1 coach, which is more holistic sports nutrition. I am a certified personal trainer, and I am a candidate for the certificate in integrative and functional sports nutrition through the Center of Integrative Sports Nutrition in the UK. And I am so excited to bring all that knowledge to you and really help you to optimize your athletic performance. All right, Dennis, would you like to reintroduce yourself, and then we can pop out?
Absolutely. My name's Dennis Paul. I am a board certified hypnotherapist, a master subconscious mind trainer, both nationally and internationally. I'm a certified communications and relationship coach, a boat captain. I have to put that in there. Licensed by the U.S. Coast Guard. That was the hardest test I ever took. And I thank you so very much for having me with you, Drew. Remember, everything begins and ends in the brain.
Agreed. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. And to everybody, thank you for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful Friday. And Dennis, I hope you have a wonderful Friday as well.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.